Hi everyone, welcome to Rodalyn TV. Ngayon pag-uusapan po natin on how to apply as a carer in United Kingdom po. Okay? Magantay lang po tayo ng iba pang darating if they're here. Ayan po. So, again, good evening from United Kingdom. Good morning sa Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And whatever time zone you have in different parts of the world. So, pag-usapan po natin yung topic na on how to apply as a carer in the UK. So, alam naman nating lahat na it's at this time of pandemic, marami po nawala ng trabaho at kahit ano na lang po tinatry natin na makipagsapalaran lamang makaroon tayo ng trabaho. So, ang una-una pong dapat malaman kung nandito ka sa ang video ito is intended for those who are working in the UK at gustong lumipat sa caring industry, especially sa care home or nasa residential, community worker, agency worker, or sa hospital setting. This video is for you. At sa lahat na kahit saang sulok mo ng mundo na gustong itry kung paano ba magtrabaho sa care home setting, dito po natin malalaman kung ano po yung mga requirements and what are the qualities, the tips, how much is the annual or per hour or monthly salary, at kung ano-ano pang mga tips na pwede nating ibigay para sa inyo. Ano po? Okay, so number 1, ano pa ba ang tinatawag na HCA? It stands for a healthcare assistant po. So, dito sa UK, may iba-iba klaseng carer, no? You can be called as a healthcare assistant. So, may residential care homes or a support worker in the community whereby you go to a house and you stay there for like 2 to 3 hours or more in order to support or assist a client. Kaya po tinatawag na support worker. Pero ang dapat yung katandaan, or you can be coming from an agency po. No? You'll be coming from an agency company na pwede kayong bigyan ng assignment, no? Kahit saang sulok man ng United Kingdom, no? So, ang maganda dapat yung i-consider bago kayo mag-apply yung tinatawag na location. Kung alam niyo sa sarili niyo that you have what you call this one? A strength and a personalized fit scores na talagang angkop sa inyo ang caring job, then marami diyang mga job on offer at nag-aantay para sa inyo. No? Example na lang sa Google, I just click it just now, there's over like 7,000 jobs all over the country. No? Sa agency lang yun. it doesn't include yung iba pang mga nasa residential or nursing care homes po. Dahil sa sobrang dami po talaga na nangangailangan ng support worker or healthcare assistant po. Okay? So first you need to understand what are the roles of a carer. So andyan yung magsusupport ka sa kliyente who are still able to assist themselves. Pero may mga disability, may mga physical ailments na they cannot continue doing the activities of daily living po. Yung may mga amputee or medical condition, merong mga catheter, peg tube, no? Yung nakakabit na tubo sa katawan nila, and more. So pag sinabi mong residential, ito yung mga tipo ng tao na they are like ages, iba mga nasa 50 or 65 and above, no? Or you can be supporting a children, young adult, yung may mga problema ng mental health issues, no? Lalo na sa mga hospitals, yung mga risk of safeguarding, no? Na talagang well supported yan ng mga social services na tinatawag. And then, if you want the dementia experience, or people with disability, learning disabilities, o yung may mga stroke patients o mga undergoing chemotherapy, no? We have hospices as well. Marami. There's a lot of choices everywhere. Or gusto nyo lang na dumalaw kayo sa community, no? So you can have several options. Either you will undergo direct employment na you have to apply to a certain company, and then you will be taking a full-time job or part-time job. Or you can apply as a support worker or healthcare care assistant via an agency. The advantage of being a full-time carer in a certain company is different from the one as an agency worker. As an agency, you need to consider the location. You need to have a car or a driving license and able to drive kasi you will be assigned in a different places. But because of the current situation of the pandemic, I think it's somewhat difficult for you to apply without a car, or even though you have the support and transport of the agency. But going from one place to another, it's quite a risk at the moment, no? And if you stay in one location, it's also a positive sign. It's a good way of being consistent to your clients, to your residents, or to your patients po. Okay? So, before you go for an interview, you need to consider po yung tinatawag na requirements. So number one, you should have your CV. You should prepare depending on the area of specialization na gusto niyo pasukin. If you want to focus on a nursing care home, you need to study or review about looking after elderly with dementia or nursing needs, because it's an added points for you to have the necessary skills in order na you can do the job properly. If you want to work in the residential care home, you need to, what do you call this one? You need to watch also certain videos relevant to become a support worker in the residential setting. But if you want to work as an agency whereby you can tour around, if you don't mind driving, if you don't mind traveling and going from one place to another, That's also okay, but you need to know the place. You need to arm yourself with necessary skills po talaga. Okay? So when you go for an interview, um, you need to stay confident. You need to, once you're fully equipped with the knowledge and the skills on how to look after this specific client group or residence group, then highly likely the relevant questions to be asked there are your experience, no? What is it like to work as a carer? They will ask you about mostly topics like health and safety, infection control, safeguarding, how to deal with the challenging behavior, um, things like understanding dementia, you know, customer service, nutrition, and because you have to assist and support client on eating and drinking, no, dysphagia or swallowing difficulties, um, understanding care plans, you know, catheterizations, continence care. Pag sinabi mong continence care, people that you assist or support in going to toilets, wearing pads, how to, there are techniques on how to look after people like this because um, hindi lang yung normal na tao na naglalakad that you have to assist to the toilet. These are people who are bedbound. What you gonna do if they have pressure sore, things like that. And then you also have to understand the use of hoist, HOIST. These are the equipment that you use to transfer or mobilize a client now, and from their bed to the wheelchair to the place where they want to go, either dining room or in the garden or in the lounge. You think it's straightforward, but actually it's quite tricky, especially if you're dealing with clients who are obese or overweight or too thin or who are agitated and restless, where they can be at risk of hurting themselves or hurting yourself. No? So you need to strike the balance on how to perform this task. That's why it's very important po that you have at least some background experience on how to do it. No? So there's also, you need to understand the concept behind what it means by a palliative or end of life po. Pag sinabi mo palliative, these are people who are at their near dying stage. However, they can still able to tolerate food and fluids now. So you have to make sure that they're comfortable, pain-free, not in distress. Um, you really have to look after the overall package of dignity and respect, no, para sa inyong mga kliyente or your patients. Nandiyan yung spiritual needs, no? You also need to consider po yon. You need to assist ng kanilang, of course, spiritual needs. So kung may mga special wishes, prayers, mga ganun. You also need to understand on how to do proper personal hygiene care. The secret of successful assistance or support to a person doing personal care, whether they like to have a shower, a bath, or whatever it is now, you need to know the person, kung ano mga level of needs niya. Kasi you never know, they have their choices, their options on how to wet their hair, how to, to be looked after. Mostly, if you're dealing with foreign clients, some of them they have rituals, some of them they have wishes on how to be well looked after, how to wash. Maybe some of them doesn't like water, so how would you clean them? How would you put them in the bath? You need to measure a proper water temperature, because especially with elderly or people with disability, they can get agitated, restless. They can just jump. They can just fall. They can just challenging, and they can hit you, or they can put on the tap and they get burned with the water, or these things can happen, or they can slip in the bathtub, or they can suddenly just jump out of the wheelchair, and then so especially people with the aggressive mental behavior, that they can just easily hit you back, you know. So ganun po yun. Um, and also, you need to inspect the skin integrity po. It's very, very important na you have to um, deal with this kind of people in a proper way. That you consider the what you call this one, um, dignity and respect. If you're attending to them, you need to make sure the doors are closed, curtains are closed, and then you prepare the the things needed. No, the toiletries, clothing, it has to match as per choice. So don't just give someone those who are able to choose their clothing. You need to respect them also. No? Ask them, even though you think they lose their memory or they are unable to move in bed, you still have to give them a chance to make the decision, the type of clothing that they want to wear on that day. Okay. Um, when it comes to continence, some of them may have catheter care, and some of them will have some level of pains, no discomfort. You really have to assist them and anticipate when the need arises for them to go to the toilet, and then you put the pad on, wash properly. Sometimes it needs one or two people to assist a client, depending how big they are, or how small they are, or how challenging they are. No? So, ganun po yun. Emotional needs ng client is also very important, kasi they can be suffering in silence, and that affects their overall level of needs. No? They can lash out, they can get frustrated, withdrawn, aggressive. So it's really important po now we have to consider these things. Another way of preparing yourself is how to look after the bedroom environment. You don't just deal with the client. You also need to consider their bedroom environment. So that bed need to be assessed. If there are bed rails na tinatawag, no, to protect the client from falling, you need to cover that with bumpers. And the bed should be able to go up and down, so that you can attend to them, whether they need turning, positional changes, um, or you just want to wash them in bed, and then you will do a proper way of doing things, no? Um, or there are items that are trip hazards, and also there are materials or items which are not supposed to be in the bedroom, that client might eat, client might trip over and fall, no? And then if the client's bed is too high, it needs to be lowered down, then you have to put a crash mat, or you need to provide your staff with sensor alarms, so that when you attend to them, um, pwede nyo siyang, it's for their maximum safety po. Okay. And also, meron din dyan na, what do you call this one? Dapat all the wardrobes, the sink, wheelchairs, walkers, Zimmer frame, rota stand, um, na gustong lumipat sa caring industry, especially sa care home. Ayan, bumalik na tayo. Sorry about the medyo na-cut po tayo, ano. Anyway, andito na ulit tayo. So, to continue, sabi ko kanina na you need to get to know the care plan of a client before attending to them. So, you need to get to know their level of needs po para maayos po yung um, ating pag-assist or support sa kanila po. No? So, lahat po yan dapat alamin ng isang applicant bago po mag-apply sa isang agency or a care home setting for a full-time job o sa agency po. Okay? In other companies, pag nagpo-interview ka po, they would ask you to yung mga requirements. Una, kailangan meron kang clear yung BPS mo. Tapos, submit ka lang ng CV and other mga training certificates. No? Mas maganda kung meron kayong tinatawag na care certification po. Kasi parang passport po yun eh, na to confirm that you're qualified to become a carer sa isang, in any setting po, residential, hospital, agency, community support worker. So, malaking bagay po yon para matanggap kayo, no, as a carer. Andiyan din yung tawag nito. It's also an advantage kung if you undergo different types of training, no? Lalo na sa mga as I repeat, no, sa health and safety, lalo na ngayon yung COVID, no, lalo na yung coronavirus na training, especially the infection control, very hot po yun. So, kung paano i-test, how frequent, sa amin, no, in my workplace, we do regular testing po. Monthly sa mga pasyente and weekly sa aming mga staff kasi we are at high risk. No, so, tapos daily temperature checks, vital signs, yung mga ganun. It's not easy po, no? It can be very tiring, it can be very demanding, it can be stressful. So, yun po ang ating may payo sa inyo, but just be calm, learn how to protect yourself from potential risk of infection and getting the virus itself. So far, medyo kalmado na ngayon, no? Although meron pa rin iba na very risky din yan para sa kanila, but in my own experience, it's not that bad. But I have to warn you, you have to be cautious, no? At all times. So that's the part, no? There are several hundreds of agencies all throughout United Kingdom po, and several thousands of care homes. So, marami po yung pagpipilian. But again, the winning criteria there is kung gusto mo maging agency, dapat consider mo yung location mo. No? You need to search the location and then yung radius per mile, no? Consider mo yung ability to commute. Kasi in England po, or in Scotland, Wales, and any part of the United Kingdom, iba-iba po yung season. So, pag inabutan ka ng winter, katulakan sa sasakyan, minsan mahirap kumuha ng train. No? Minsan may pa-delay-delay pa yan. O kaya kahit bus. So, it's very important po na you are within the proximity of your workplace if possible. Sa akin po, I'm blessed because I work and I live where I work now. So, baba ka lang, no? But I know at the moment that's how I'm privileged, no? I'm blessed to have that opportunity to work and stay where I work. Although I'd love to have a place of my own one day. And punta rin po tayo dyan, okay? And the risk involved po pag nagbabiyahe ka, no? Kasi sometimes you will be called. Sabagay, rotational naman yan. As per rota, kung ano yung schedule mo, then you can have it, no? Tapos, the next day, pag napasa mo na lahat ng requirements, and you will be able to start straight away, ano yung dapat na i-prepare mo sa sarili mo on how to become an effective carer po? So, dapat, ano pa tayo? Confident, no? Compassionate, patience, very caring. No? But the best and most important quality is to understand the nature, the behavior, on how to deal with this type of people. Be it with learning disability, with dementia, with physical nursing needs, with mental health, children, young adult, substance abuse, drug abuse, or or with suicidal thoughts, or with how to call this one, um, disabilities, stroke, cancer patients, and many more. No, you need to understand po, or may Parkinson's or diabetes or whatever type of nursing needs they have. You really need to understand your client. That's the very key. Because without understanding it, and then you just go there and work and you haven't got a clue, you don't know how to respond to the client's needs, you don't know how to handle it, you're gonna cry. You will end up frustrated. You will end up just frightened, and you think you're being attacked by a person, where in fact it's the disease, it's the illness, it's the signs and the symptoms that you need to deal with and understand beforehand, before plunging or before getting into the job. Okay? When you fully understand the nature, the complexity, the unpredictability, and the intensity of that someone's behavior, illness, diseases, signs and symptoms, jackpot. It's just easy peasy for you to deal with them. And your cleverness, your quick witted to respond in a proper way to them can actually make life easy for that patient, for the resident, or for your client, you know? Or it could be an opposite. Because if your response is inappropriate to the expectation of your client, the more you even trigger the person to be challenging, to misbehave, or um, not being able to settle, you know? So dapat po talagang, it's, working in a care home is quite tricky, or in any scenario or setting that I mentioned. You think it's just supporting someone to feed, but you can choke them if you don't know what to give, what type of food to give. Meron din yang normal, may diabetic, merong soft, puree, liquidized, fork mashable. May mga different texture po yun. So, it's not just about the idea of feeding someone, it's knowing the type of dietary requirements that they need, you know? And when it comes to drinking, a client can choke their own saliva and the liquid that you're giving if it's not properly mixed with the recommended thickened fluids, especially for the client who are palliative or near the end stage of life. And if you don't know how to respond to a client in pain, or deaf, or blind, or mute, or someone who is not being uncommunicative and not being able to express themselves, it's not that easy. You know, they can get agitated, they can get challenging and hitting out, things like that. So you really, really need to understand these things para naman po hindi po kayo mahirapan. Kasi kung hindi nyo siya naintindihan, if you haven't read a care plan, if you don't listen to the handover, and you just go there and assume, highly likely your shift is miserable. Your shift can be chaotic because you don't know how to deal with the client. Yeah? So, ganun po yun. So, dapat those are the key areas, no? So, next natin na tatanungin, magkano po? Magkano po ang kikitain ng isang carer sa United Kingdom? Well, obviously, the currency is in sterling British pounds. So, kung naghanap kayo ng, as an employee of a company that you apply for a full-time job, depende po yan sa level ng or the status din ng company na yun. Kung yan ba ay small time, medium, or luxurious, yeah, type of company. Or how many clients do they have. Kasi ano yan eh, may national guidelines yan na may ratio and proposal as per 1 is to 5. Meron dapat some carer. But if you're working as a one-to-one or looking after a private client in a luxurious or big-time companies, then your rate is higher. But the average earner, hi Ate Jonah, I'm lecturing about how to apply as a carer in the UK. Hi, may ako na kaya? Just give you jacket first. Welcome po. Good morning. Hi, Ate Jonah, Angeline Villarin. Yeah, I'm just giving a lecture on how to apply as a carer in the UK po. Let's go na. Ayan. Welcome po. No? So, if you want to apply as a carer po in the UK, as previously discussed, you can always replay my video on the requirements and how to be one of them. So the hourly rate to if you want to be a carer in the United Kingdom, it's variable. in a full-time job in a company, normally it starts from £8.50 to £9.50. It depends on your experience, or it can go up to £13 per hour. Yung carer, no? A carer. But if you work in an agency, sometimes it starts from £11 to 14 or £15. Again, it depends. It depends on what type of company you're into. Kung big time, big time din yung per hour mo. Okay? And it depends if you're working in a luxurious company, no? Big time agency, the lists are endless. Or kung nasa care home setting ka lang, and you need to consider, you need to look also how many clients does this company has, how many carers are they in that client group, no? So you will get your ano doon, you will get your bracket, no? Kung how much do you gonna earn. So kung private nursing naman, you will be looking after yung stay at home or residential na wala masyadong level of care needs, iba din po yun. So, Ate Jonah, Angeline, do you have plans po ba? Ayan, kagigising lang. That's fine, Ate Jonah. Thank you so much for coming. Ayan. So, ganun po yun, no? It's quite an interesting, lalo na dito sa may United Kingdom na. But if you are still in the Philippines and one day you want to change career, if you're a nurse na hindi nakapasa ng board exam, pwede ka rin kumuha mag-apply ng carer. And then you can also do the testing here. Meron ko sa tawag na IELTS or OSCE, and then you can apply as you can continue your nursing career here by applying in the Nurse and Midwifery Council. But our topic today is about the carer. Can anyone be a carer? The answer is yes, as long as you have the qualities of becoming a carer. Because you can be a carer to children, to young adults, to patients in the hospital, in mental health. You can be a carer in the community who just visit other people's house, stay there for 2 or 4 hours, or just be a companion to them. Or you can be a carer in a luxurious, high-profile people. Mm. You can be a full-time carer in a nursing home or in the hospital. So, marami kang pagpipilian ng mga setting po in a caring industry. As long as you have these qualities of being compassionate, caring, understanding, but you need to learn the language of the uncommunicative. Yung hindi po nakakapagsalita ng mga care, ng mga residente na tinatawag namin or yung mga pasyente kasi doon mo malalaman kung ano talaga yung skills na ah, kailangan ng isang carer. Welcome, welcome po, Mr. Ano pangalan nito? Wait, Mr. Gijo, hello host, hello Ate Jan. Nabigyan ko na po kayo ng jacket, sir. So, welcome to Rodalyn TV. Sir, feel free to baba na yung bahay po. My topic for today is about how to apply as a carer in the UK. And, ayan. May jacket na po kayo, sir. Ayan. Thank you. Ayan. Thank you so much, Ate Jonah. Kakilala niyo po ba siya? Ayan. So, kung may mga tanong po kayo tungkol on how to apply as a carer po dito sa UK, feel free to type it in at babasahin po natin at sasagutin ko din yan. Saktek din po ito. Hello po. Angeline, how are you? Hi, Is that your other name, Saktek? Mr. Dijo? Where are you from, sir? Welcome to Rodalyn channel. This is your first time, right? Ayan. So, yun po, no? Hindi po masyadong madali din yung trabaho ng carer. It requires physical strength, endurance, and stamina in order to sustain ng iyong ability to look after this kind of people. Ayan. Don't forget to give love and support your beloved host. 4 million people in the house. You're welcome po. Welcome, Dijo. Ayan. Dijo, magbabala kayo ng bahay, ha? Angeline, Ate Jonah. Paano mag-livestream sa YT? Ang question ni Mr. Dijo, paano mag-livestream sa YT, FB Gaming or page, at Twitch ng sabay-sabay gamit cellphone at libre lang? Ayan. So, yeah, we can visit your house later, yeah? Thank you. Welcome po. Ayan, si kay Ate Jonah. Angeline, dikitan mo si Mr. Dijo or Saktek. Ayan, pag hindi pa kayo friends. Please connect to our sponsor as well, Teacher SB. Ayan. So, it's quite, ang topic ko po ngayon, sir, is about how to become a carer in the UK. Gagawin ko po itong series, no? Because I've been here in the UK for 20 years, and this is the nature of my job, being a manager in a care home, and now become a deputy manager and also a nurse in one. So I'm sharing to you, the public, and the general viewers po, on how to apply as a carer. The next series po is on how to become an efficient nurse in a care home setting or in a hospital, and then how to become a deputy manager and the manager eventually. Okay? So, isi-share po natin lahat yan. So, para maging successful kang, so sinabi ko na kung magkano sasahurin mo per hour. Again, it varies din po yun. Kung starter ka pa lang, then you're gonna start with a basic, no, mga 850 or £9 per hour. Thank you. So, pero kung sa specialist area ka, then it's higher. You can even earn probably up to £15 per hour, no, as a care highest na yun, maybe. But if there are other agencies, luxurious type na mga high-end client mo na ano, so mas mataas. Pero kung basic lang na ano so ganun, no? So, kung may mga tanong kayo tungkol sa topic ko, just feel free to type it in, tapos i-read ko lang, ano. Sir, baba po kayo ng bahay. I think this is your first time. Ito na ba yung bahay mo? Yung naka-link? Okay, that's fine. Panoorin natin yan. Angelina, pag hindi pa kayo dikit ni Sir, dikit na kayo. Hanggang 12 midnight lang ako ha, kasi mag-duty ako niya. Time now is 23:08. Kinakatch up ko lang yung, hindi kasi ako nakapag for 2 nights kasi I've been in a very, very difficult situation na kailangan I have to attend to now. But feel free to, I announced before that I have to do it every night from 10 o'clock up to 2 a.m. But hindi po kaya ng katawan ko. Nag-a-adjust pa lang po. No? So, ayan. Thank you so much, Ate Jonah, for coming. Ayan. Sir, saan po kayo nagtatrabaho at saan po kayo ngayon? Pakiano na lang, ha? So, yan po ang tips on how to become a carer in the UK and what type of clients that you have to look. Kung ano po yung mga requirements. No, you can always listen and play back on the replay po. But the most important thing, ayan, stay home, sabi ni Ate Jonah. The most important thing is understanding po ng nature ng illnesses, diseases, signs and symptoms, no? It's not easy po, but it's very fulfilling din. Pag love nyo yung work nyo, it's a mystery po pag di nyo siya feel. Kasi talagang, and if you don't understand, kasi napaka-challenging na role po, no? It requires physical effort. Lalo na yung if you're dealing with a obese client, yung mga aggressive, challenging, no? It takes a skillful person to manage or attend to this type of people po. Kasi you can be physically traumatized or you can be hit. Anyone with challenging behavior po, you need to be very extra careful. Kasi po, hindi po siya madali. Talaga pong you will be risking yourself, no? Of harm pag hindi po tayo careful. Another way of another skill na dapat yung ma-develop is dapat yung cheerfulness, positive mindset po, no? Tsaka focus sa work. You need to be very good as well in documentation, which is very, very important. Kasi everything that happens to a client on a day-to-day basis, kailangan po nakadocument yan. Pag may mga abnormal changes sa kanilang katawan, mula ulo hanggang paa, you really need to assess. Tapos po, you have a good rapport sa family members din. Kasi otherwise, pag hindi rin sila masaya, hindi rin maganda yung parang customer service natin. Ano? So, ganun po yan. Pag agency ka naman, dapat you need to equip yourself with the ability to read them up. Kasi kahit saan-saan na kayo i-assign. No? Dapat you have an advanced preparation kung saan kayo pupunta, saan kayo i-assign. Tricky din po yun. Kung wala kayong sasakyan, the train can get delayed, buses, something can happen anywhere on the road. And you will be putting that client at risk or a resident at risk kung hindi kayo makakarating on time. So, yan po ang disadvantage ng agency. Pero per hour nyo, bongga-bongga, mas malaki compared doon sa may normal na full-time job. No? Pero, tatagain naman kayo ng tax. Tsaka I won't even recommend, no, if possible, po, just stay in one job, in one place. Kung agency ka. But it's also okay to do both. No one can stop you from working on both. Kasi there are times I experience working in the agency. There are times na pag walang shift, walang nangangailangan sa'yo, wala ka ding trabaho. Unless na ang agency willing magbayad sa'yo ng in advance na pag na-cancel yung trabaho mo or wala kang ano, babayaran ka pa rin. Kasi you really need to have the job na sa agreement na yun. Virtual hug, Ate Jonah, thank you. Iwan lang, baba lang po kayo ng bahay ha, feel free. Feel free na pangista habang nagle-lecture ako. I just want to share this to everybody para this is my way of continuing my channel no, eventually. So, lecture lang. Tapos, ayun, there will be, depende sa company na i-applyan mo, no? You can have a free transport, a free uniform, free meals. Meron namang agency na wala lahat. So, dapat you need to be wise. You need to ask kung they are giving you those perks or giving you those privileges, no? Ang magandang pagtrabahuan po pag gusto nyo sa proper employment, yung mga charitable foundations, charitable care homes, or mga hospitals, they do provide transport. They provide free meals and then uniform po. No, some of them they give you a good deal of accommodation, annual leaves, holiday pay, sick pay, yung mga ganun. They are all covered po. No? Tapos, meron pa mga enhancement yan. But there are companies who doesn't. No? Tingnan nyo din kung ilang annual leave entitlement meron kayo. Kung kasama ko, because there are several holidays in one year. May kumpanya na hanggang Christmas, tsaka ano lang yung binabayaran. Yung other bank holidays na tinatawag na they don't. So, kailangan bago kayo before you accept the job, you need to explore these things. But very rare po ang chances na sa isang company you can get all these privileges, no? Na may transport na kayo, free uniform, free meals, free accommodation, tapos adequate annual leave, sick pay, ano ba tawag doon? Ano nga ba yung pag namatayan ka? Mga ganun. Bibihira na makakuha ka ng company na very supportive. Ako hindi ko na hinahanap kasi ang hinahanap ko na lang yung type of residence na ilo-look after ko and the ambience of the workplace. Magiging masaya pa ako sa lugar na to. Yun ang una yung tatanungin. Oo, sabihin na natin na I also look for wages o kaya yung magiging sahod ko. But at the same time kasi dito sa if you live in the UK po, ganito po yon. Here's the tip po. If you live outside, no, outside your working premises area, magbabayad ka din ng upa ng bahay mo. But if you have your own house, then that's fine. You need to pay for a council tax, electrical bills, gas, energy, and then meron ka tatawag na council tax na babayaran din. Water bills. So, kunwari, nagsasahod ka ng 3,000, 4,000. Sa renta mo pa lang, sa mga, alam mo yun, sa mga list of itemized na halos kalahati na ng sahod mo na punta doon. No? Paano kung may loan ka pa? Paano kung may you need to send money home? No? Mga scheduled remittances ka. So, pagtanggap mo pa lang, ubos na. No? Ubos na yung sahod mo. Ang hindi alam ng ating mga kababayan o ng family loved ones natin sa Pilipinas, hindi ibig sabihin pounds, no? Hi, Labatching and Family Channel! May jacket na po kayo, no? So, ay hindi alam ng ating pinakamamahal na mga, ano, kesyo dahil British pounds tayo or ano mo dyan, nakita ko po Jose, how to apply it. That's right. Yeah, entrepreneur. Ayan, ka dyan ate. I'm a deputy manager in one of the care home po. Dati po akong manager ng 91 bedded. Nurse po ako by profession ng 20 years. But at the same time, meron ako mga online business din po. No? Nagsisimula pa lang. Hindi pa ganun kalakihan. But I'm hoping this is my way of sharing to people, no? Para mabigyan kayo ng tips on how to, baka who knows one day, baka naisipan yung ano, o may kakilala kayo. So kindly share this video po para naman na matulungan natin sila, no? Mapaghandaan kung ano man yung gusto nila ma-achieve sa buhay. So, ang focus natin ay sa career muna kung paano mag-apply dito sa UK. Sa next na series ko, next episode, sa mga nurses naman, kung anong dapat nilang gawin. So, kung may mga family member kayo dyan, o kaya may mga kaibigan kayo, pa-share na lang po ng video natin. Huh? Whether patapos na tayo or kaumpisa lang, you can always replay naman. Napaka-specific po at napaka-helpful na aking binigay na tips. Para naman po pagdating nyo dito sa UK, hindi na po kayo mangangapa. No? Kasi meron na kayong mga tips. Ayan. So, ang magandang gawin niyo po, turuan po ate for workout. Ano? Turuan mo ako ate, workout ang pagiging BA ko ate. Bachelor, what is BA? Paki-complete na lang Labuching. Just Bachelor of Arts or ano? Sige ate siya, ayan. Thank you Labuching. Explore ka lang kasi very practical po at very helpful yung mga isi-share ko na this upcoming series, no? Tomorrow and the next. Very helpful po siya sa pang-araw-araw natin na buhay. Carer ko man o hindi, yung mga binibigay ko sila tips pag tumanda yung mga parents natin, how you gonna look after your own loved ones po, no? Lalo na dun sa how to prepare aging and how to deal with challenging behavior. Panoorin niyo po yon kasi i-share niyo din sa mga friends niyo, sa mga lolo't lola, nanay, tatay na tumatanda. Nako, very, very helpful po yun para maintindihan nyo. At kasi kayo din mahirapan eh. Business ad kay ate ko. Okay. Ayan. Maybe sa susunod po na episode natin, Labucheng, pwede po natin yan. Sulat mo lang kung ano yung gusto nyo malaman. Hi, Jovelyn Lina. Thank you sa patamsak ha. Ayan. Ayan, meron pa ba tayong bago dito? Ayan, wala. So, Jovelyn, hi din sa'yo. So, ang topic po natin is how to become a carer in the UK po. So, after, kasi hanggang 12 midnight lang ako sa UK kasi long wait pa ako super bukas. Gusto ko sana araw-araw ka. So, talagang super. Kasi the whole week po, maglulungbay-lungbay ako. So, I have to limit po ng ano. Pero pabawi tayo next week. Kasi babalik na yung staff ko na naka-ano leave. Ayan. I-ano natin yan by episode, Labuching ha. But I want you to be very specific kung ano po yung katanungan ninyo. Ayan, you're welcome. Pero iwan din kayo, baba din kayo ng bahay. Friends na ba kayo lahat? Mag-ano lang kayo dyan, mag-explore. Nagpatay-patay ka na naman. Ano yan? Oo nga, no. Hindi, so that I can help you, di ba? Ayan. Thank you sa thumbs up. So, yun. Sabi ko, may bala ka bang pumunta dito sa UK, Labuching? Meron ka bang mga matatandang magulang dyan? O kaya mga lolo't lola na i-look after nyo? So, binibigyan ko yun ng tips on how to be a very good carer. Not necessarily na pupunta kayo dito, o kahit hindi man kayo pupunta. Ano sabi? Katakot kasi mangisda at talaga okay. Oh, kasi baka, I'm sorry to hear that. Ayan. Oo, kasi 'di ba 'pag hindi mo na kumpleto yung process ng tamsak, panunood, tsaka yung ano, ayan lagas ng lagas, nakakairita. Pero 'di bale, manood ka na lang, at least may matutunan ka ngayong araw. Ngayong gabi pala. So gano'n po yun. Ako nalalagasan din, don't worry, pare-pareho lang tayong lahat. Ayan. Opo, matatanda na may mga nararamdaman na ayan. Labuching and Family Channel, panoorin mo yung How to Prepare for Aging, tsaka yung How to Deal with Challenging Behavior. Kasi ma-apply mo yun sa kanila, lalo na po yung memory ng loved ones nyo medyo iba na, no? Nawawala na. Kasi may tendency yan na magkakagulo Alam mo yung paikot-ikutin kayo magkapatid kung meron kayong magkapatid. Magkwentuhan na, yes, that's fine. Tanong ka, feel free to ask me questions. May bago yata si Mr. DJ ba yun? You ask each other kung ano yung kung gusto niyo magbaba ng bahay. Ayun. So, panoorin niyo po yun ha, para mag-ano kayo. So, recap ko lang, sabi ko yung requirements dapat may mga training kayo sa health and safety, infection control, COVID, training, how to assist the client with eating and drinking, yung may mga swallowing difficulty, how to use the hoist, kasi kailangan nyo yun sa mobility requirements, kung paano mag-transfer from bed to chair. You need to be aware kung paano assist with personal care. Dapat naka-check yung water temperature nyo, hindi masyado mainit. Kasi yung skin ng mga matatanda kasi madaling masunog yan. Madaling maano sa water temperature. So, kailangan very careful. Tsaka pag nag-transfer kayo, pag nag-move, wag yung i-grab yung ganyan kasi madaling magkaka-bruise din yan. No? Madali din silang mag-bruise. At actually maraming bawal. Maraming bawal sa mga matatanda. No? Tapos you need to defend, you need to protect yourself din po. Kung manununtok mo sila o kay maninipa, sisigawan kayo, wag pong sasama ang loob. Kasi hindi po sila yan as a person. Yun po ang tinatawag na disease. O kaya yung mga, dahil wala nang inhibition, wala nang control yung mind nila, wala ba din ate kahit kung maliit na posisyon ng paano mag-apply pa. Ayan. Kahit janitress lang muna. Saan sa UK? Marami. Pero ang in demand kasi ngayon yung sa mga care homes, agency, hospital, dahil nga sa COVID, di ba? So, maraming carer na namamatay, marami din yung ayaw na magtrabaho dahil natatakot. So, kahit carer ka man, kahit janitor o ng pagkain, exposed pa rin tayong lahat sa isang workplace na yun, no? Kasi doon lang naman umiikot-ikot yung mga virus So, wala tayong lusot. Mag-wear ka pa rin ng proper gadgets, proper talaga, di ba? Ayan. At pag dito ka kasi, gusto mo ba pumunta dito, Labuching? Sa may sa UK. Ayan. So, pagkatapos po nito, ibalik mo siya. Ayan, oo ate. So, kaso ayan, yes. Kahit saang lupalop man tayo ng daigdig ngayon, Labuching, wala tayong lusot kasi pare-pareho lang. O, di ba? Oo nga, nakakatakot. That's true. Pero kung alam mo naman pangangalagaan yung sarili mo, basta hand wash ka lang. Hand wash ka lang lagi. Tapos, you follow the guidelines, follow the rules, no? Infection control ka lang, health and safety, yung mga ganun, yung mga basic na requirements kung paano ka magiging very good carer, no? Pero at least, meron ka sasakurin. Maayos-ayos din yung sahod mo, di ba? So, ganun yun. At gustong-gusto ko, paano? Ahoy. Oo nga dalhin mo na lang sila Butching. Dalhin mo na lang sila Butching dito sa UK ka, ha? Sino magbabantay? Babantayan ko, sabi ko na din. Wala ba kayong mga family members din diyan na pero parang ano kasi 'no, naka-ano na iwanan kasi baby pa. Who knows later on 'no? Basta pag-aralan mo lang 'to, i-replay mo lang, rewind mo lang yung video ko kasi there are tips po talaga para matulungan kayo 'no, kung paano 'no, how to prepare yourself. Ayan, pasok ka na. Naku, huhulihin ka din. Baka iiyak yan, hingi yan ng gatas, o paano ba yan? Tapos bakit naman kasi lagas ngayon halos lahat ng mga tao. Alam mo kung bakit nalalagas? Kasi parang demand and supply yan eh. Parami na kasi ang YouTube. Nagdidikitan na. Kumbaga, oo nga ate, pero thank you sa tips niya. That's fine. Ang pagkakaalam ko lang kasi kasi tayo mga Pinoy, minsan, hindi naman lahat minsan kasi atat na tayo. Mabuo natin yung requirements. Pero ang unang tanong ba, bago ba tayo nag-YouTube, binasa ba natin ang guidelines ni YTP community? Yeah? Di ba sa channel mo, meron doon na YT channel, tapos lahat doon nakasaad ang kanyang requirements, di ba? Binasa ba natin yun? Ako part lang, hindi lahat, no? So ngayon, kung ano lang yung payo ng friend, payo ng kaibigan natin, sige, sunod lang din. Diyan tayo Pinoy magaling, di ba? Kung ano sinabi ni Kwa, kung ano sinabi na, sige, akala natin tama na. Pero yun pala yung method niya mali din. So, kinaya natin kung anong maling method, no? Ayun, binasa mo. Pero nilagas pa rin ni ate. Ngayon, ang pagkakaalam ko, there's a video na para hindi ka lagasan, dapat pag nag-watch ka ng video, kunwari video call, no? Ng 1 minute na video call, kunwari, bago ka magtamsak, padaanin mo naman yung ads ko, kahit mga ilang percent. Then tamsak. And then, you leave the comment. Pag medyo forward pa, kalahati pa ng konti. Saka ka lang mag-subscribe. Pag natapos, malapit mo nang matapos yung video, saka ka lang mag-subscribe. Yun ang tamang way ng pangingisda. Kasi siguro tayo, dahil nung hindi ko pa binasa, hindi ko winatch yung video, di ba may mga naka-list of subscribers, alam mo kung anong ginagawa ko noon, na kaya ako nilagasan, kasi pindot ko lang kinalimbang yung subscription na word without watching the video. Ayun. Kasi alam ni YouTube yan. Kasi lahat ng ginagawa natin dito sa space na to, naka-record yan. Yun ang tinatawag na algorithm. Sino si algorithm? Siya yung parang spy. Siya yung parang detective ni YouTube, ni Google. Kung kahit anong ilagay mo man dyan, ipindot mo dyan sa search button na yan, doon tayo matitrace. Kaya wala pong tago-tago yan. Alam lahat ni Lolo yan. Alam lahat ni algorithm. Alam lahat ni ano. Kahit tapos na host di man 80, agad-agad nalagas. Nalags 80. Ayan. Ano sabi? Dapat talaga manood. Yes. Kaya nga yung requirement is 1 minute. Diba? Kunwari, lumabas ka ngayon, pumunta ka kay sa ibang nagla-live. Actually, bawal din yun. Kasi ang dapat natin gawin, we have to stay put sa iisang channel all throughout hanggang matapos sana. No? Sana. Kasi doon nagbe-base si algorithm, doon siya nagbe-base ng retention ng audience, ng viewers. Kasi kung gala tayo ng gala, hindi din yan counted sa watch hours ko. Or kung kayo mag-live stream, minus din yan. Ayan, full watch bago magkalimbang. That's right. O, diba? Joblin Lina, ako kapon 80, Ate Roda ngayon 10. Wow, o diba? So, sayang talaga yung pangingisda. So, dapat meron ka ding rest period. So, sabi nga ni Ate Jonah, full watch bago magkalimbang, which is correct. Yan ang proper way of doing things. Kasi sa atin, kalimbang lang tayo ng kalimbang. So siguro sa bawat kalimbang mo na yan, na walang watch-watch ng video, yan ang binabawas ni Lolo. Sayang, di ba? Sayang lang. So, dapat kung yung binababa ni video is mababa, yes. Kaya nga dapat, di ba, kaya kami, di ba, pag nagpa-sponsor o pag nagpa-member, tapos nagpakulay, di ba napansin nyo, intro lang, no? Intro lang siya. Kung gusto mong gaya nito ngayon, di ba, nag-watch kayo sa akin. Ewan ko kung baka hindi na ako on ng monetization ko, but later, anyway, it doesn't matter. Kasi lecture ko lang naman to. Ang ano dyan, ang tactic dyan, kailangan pasensyosa ka, no? Kasi, ganito yan eh. Pag winatch mo yung lahat ng haarang, hindi mo skinip, no? Mag-aano yan sa'yo, mag-credit yan sa host na nag-live streaming. Kasi magre-record yan under retention of the audience, of the viewers. Kasi pag pupunta ka sa statistics, pag chinek mo yung YouTube channel mo, doon mo yung makikita ang mga spikes, yung mga ganan, kung ilan, kung gaano kataas, kung gaano ka, yung mga nagwiwiggle-wiggle dyan, mga drawing, yung parang ECG, parang electrocardiogram na type. Ayun, doon yan minimeasure ni algorithm kung gaano ka katagal nanood sa akin, labuching. Ha? Di ba, Ate Jonah, Jovelyn Linaw? Yun, doon yan minimeasure nila kung gaano kayo katutok sa akin. Ganon din ka, Ate Jonah, pag nag-live siya. O later on kayo din, pag nag-live streaming kayo, pag na-monetize na kayo, lahat ng mga dumitikit o bumibisita sa bahay nyo, ideally, dapat polite sila na mag-ano na, kailangan ganyan, dyan talaga sila, nakatutok. No? Pag nagbabaan ng pangistaan na pag nagpangisda ka naman, sabi ko nga, pagkalawin mo naman si ads. Kasi si ads ang starring dyan eh. Pangalawa lang si host. No? Pag monetize ka na, ang ating tinitingnan dyan at binibigyan talagang atensyon, yung ads, yung advert. Kasi sila yung magpapasahod sa atin via Google AdSense, di ba? Kaya tayo mag-aantay ng PIN na tinatawag na AdSense. At saka nag-aantay tayo ng PIN kasi pag forward mo yan sa kanila, in-enter mo na sa mo, tsaka mo yun sasahuran. Lahat ng mga advert mo na pinapanood ninyo habang nag-live stream ako, yan ang tinatawag na revenue. Diba? Ayan. Yes, painitin din pag-stay, correct. Ayan. Kasi ikaw sponsor ka o isa kang kumpanya. Nag-sponsor mo yan, pinili mo na mag-advertise sa video na yan. Kaso wala naman nagsistay, walang nanonood, walang viewers. Wala din kita yung yung ads mo. Hindi rin makikita, hindi rin mapapansin. Ganyan din yun, di ba? Para ka lang nag-put up ng business o tiyangge o na wala bumibili. No? Kasi bumisita nga pero hindi naman tumingin-tingin. Hindi ka man lang binigyan pa konsuelo na basahin na lang dyan o kaya pakinggan o kaya yung advert nila. So painit pa, tama yan, sinabi nila Butching. Painitin mo muna yung ads. Pagkalawin mo siya, let the ads move, listen, watch. O kung ayaw mong i-watch o listen, kahit nagwawalis ka niya, nagluluto o whatever, just let it flow, don't skip. Never skip po talaga kasi yun ang magiging source ng revenue ng ating host. Para pag kayo na rin maging host, kami na rin na host na dati mong tinulungan, babalik at babalik din sa'yo. Diba? Tama po ba, Ate Jonah? Ayan. So, tulungan lang tayo. Winatch mo ako, iwa-watch din kita. Iniwanan mo ako, iiwanan din kita. Pero hindi rin. Kahit iniwanan mo ako, babalikan pa rin kita. Iwa-watch pa rin kita. Hanggang sa maramdaman mo yung pagmamahal ko. Sabay ka na. Joke lang. Pero that's the proper way of supporting and watching the live streaming po. No? Kailangan talaga full support tayo dun sa may ano. Meron ba tayong bago? So far, wala pa naman. So, ganun po yun. Ano pa't mga tanong mo, Labuching? So, basta very last po, patapos na, napansin niyo sa video ko, last ko lang mini-mention yung word na subscribe. Kasi doon pa lang kayo mag-subscribe sa katapusan. Hindi ko nilagay yung, "Hi everyone, Rodalyn TV, please subscribe." May nabasa ba kayong ganun sa video ko? Never. Wala, di ba? No? Kasi sa dulo ko nilalagay yung either "Thank you for watching, please subscribe," or "Subscribe," kasi wala ng space sa aking ano, oh, di ba? Hehehe. Natawa sila Butching. Hello, baby la Butching. Pakurot naman ang pisngi. Baga parang ganyan ba yun? Ew. Ayan, cutie-cutie ka talaga. Iniwanan mo ako, sige, lumayo ka. Ganun, ano. Ang ganon. Hindi. Ano, mas maswerte ka pag very loyal ang audience mo, no? Yung meron ka talagang group. Magtayo nga tayo ng ano, ng Rodalyn TV group. Mag-think ako ng pangalan. Meron pa din tayong Team Pagmamahal. Meron pa rin tayong Hope team, no? Pero at si Teacher SB Miss, mga students niya, meron siyang Teacher SB class. Yung sa akin naman, I will think of a name na para exclusive din kayo sa akin. At the same time, meron din tayong generic, di ba? Gusto niyo ba mag-suggest ng pangalan natin? Yung mga lagi dito gabi-gabi sa akin. Kasi gabi dito, no? Yun sa akin na ano. Dapat mag-stay na mga 10 minutes para yes, that's correct, Ate Jonah. Thank you for sharing. 10 minutes para papasok ang WH sa host. Ay, ganun po ba yun, Ate Jonah? 10 minutes? Kahit in any hours na live stream na. Kaya pala, Ate Jonah, napansin ko, super stay ka talaga. Kalab na love kita. Thank you po. Thank you. Hehe, naririnig niya name nila Butching. Sabi niya, tawag daw siya. Talaga, Baby Laboching. Naku, malapit ka sa akin. Kanina pa kita kinurot. Alam mo, love na love ko yung mga kids, mga babies. Tuwang-tuwa ako sa kanila. Kasi sa family namin, we have lots of, mga pamangkin. Tsaka, alam mo yung mga pamangkin ko na mga maliliit pa. Pag kasi hindi ko na-share yung video niya, no? Lagi siya umiiyak sa akin. Palagi pong inuunat yung pisngi niya. Tsaka, nanggigigil ako. Alam mo, nagigil ako. Gawa ka, pero oo pa. Pag kinuha na niya ako, gagawa talaga kami. Bongga, overtime pa. Alam ko, Ate Jonabel, sabi niya 20 minutes. Okay. Di mas bongga. Mas maganda pa rin stay kayo hanggang sa matapos. Ayan. Di ba? Nag-iwala ng tamang bakas. Ano sabi? May baby ka din ba daw? Not yet. Wala pa po. I'm still dreaming one day. Gagawa pa lang po kami ng aking mahal. Pag ako'y nakuha na niya. Pag ako makalipat na sa Dubai. Ayan. Ang sabi? Masayang ang support kung hindi mag-stay. Ayan. Di ba? Oo nga, Ate John. Pero Ate John, pag nangingisda po kayo, hindi po ba yun affected? Kung syempre lalabas ka talaga pag nangisda ka, di ba? Pati din ba ako, being the host, pag nangisda din po ako, kunwari, no? Hindi, but through my cellphone po ako nangingisda, hindi dito sa CP. Affected po ba yun or hindi? Pero na-notice ko kasi nung na-monetize ako, pinawasan din ako ni Lolo. Ang dami din ng bawas sa akin. Maglay daw yun ate hanggang pag... Ay, ganun. Pero hindi, dito sa beauty water po, tinutone niya oh. Ayan. Ayan ganyan. Alam mo tong ko, alam mo ang ganda niya, talagang hindi na ako bibihira lang ako mag-foundation Pero tingnan mo ang niningning niya talaga. Alam mo, siya talaga parang planchado. Alam mo yung gano'n. Ate Jonah, bumili ka na ng machine ko, yung Kangen water. Kaya na yan ng monetized channel mo. Ha? Para Alam mo kasi 'di ba nagluluto ka, "Hi Ate Londorm, thank you for calling." Ang sweet naman. Eh, kasi naman patulog ng mga tao dito, hindi naman ako puwedeng sumigaw. Ayan, 'di gano'n talaga ako malandi kasi Ilongga, eh, 'di ba? Tamsak Ma'am Kagiga, thank you po. Ayan. Salamat sa patamsak Ma'am Londorm, ayan. Ate Jonah, kasi 'pag kumuha ka ng machine, ano 'yun, depende kasi sa Malaysia ka, 'di ba? Ayan. Puwede naman 'yun, pero puwede kitang i-sign up, just let me know, just confirm. Padalhan kita ng form by email, tapos mag-deposit ka lang naman po. At tsaka kasi ano, eh, for 25 years tsaka may na magla-last ang machine na 'yun. Tsaka another way of source of income mo din po, pagka mayaman ka na naman sa YouTube, tsaka sa work mo. For me, this is the best way, 'no, para ma-ano yung health natin, alam mo yung gano'n. Talaga nag-e-enjoy talaga ako sa health. Although hindi ako masyadong nag-succeed sa business side, 'no, pero talagang ano, talagang ini-enjoy ko yung benefits ng Kangen water ko. Kasi 'pag kahit anong uri ng sakit diyan, kasi prevention yun, eh, talagang iki-clear niya talaga, kikinis yung, para alam mo yun, basta ang dami, panoorin mo yung ano ko, beauty tips in 1 minute ko. Ano nga, oo nga, parang walang force. Anong walang force? Anong machine yun, Ate Rhoda? Ayan. Wait, ST501 or Live Lock K85 Magic. Ayan. So, inuhook ko yan sa may sink. Tapos, yung flow ng water, actually, andun sa may video ko, hanapin mo lang yung how to change tap water into Kangen water, no? Andun yun sa channel ko, panoorin niyo siya. Tapos ang hanapin niyo diyan yung para siyang coffee machine na meron siyang, pindot-pindutin mo lang yung mga numbers na doon. Tapos hanapin ko siya tapos ipapaba ko sa inyo. Magbibigay yun sa inyo ng different types of water na talagang i-enjoy niyo talaga siya kasi marami siyang benefits na this way. How to change. Ma'am Landerm, how are you? Okay ka lang diyan, ma'am? Kagigising mo lang? Ako mamaya matutulog. Ito, ibababa ko siya, guys, ha. Ibababa ko siya. Share ko sa inyo. Alam mo, Ma'am Landerm, yung usapan dito, opportunity banana pa lang po ba? Ayan. How to apply as a carer in UK po. Yun po yung topic natin kanina. Saan ba yung live streaming ko? Pag binaba ko siya, papanoorin nyo, ha. Kahit mamaya bahala kayo kung kailan nyo panoorin, but this is the machine po. Ayan, binaba ko na. Host, si Ate Jonah, 14 banana pa lang po pa. Hindi, si Ate Jonah monetize na yan, ninja niya yan. Yung Ate Jonah, ano niya, bayanihan, ninja niya yan. Ayan binaba ko yung, panoorin nyo yan. Si Live Lock K8 machine yan. Ayan. Ma'am Landerm, how are you? Wala kang pasok ngayon? Sorry, hindi ako naka-live nung naka-LS nung 2 nights kasi talagang pagod ako. Tsaka na-stress pa ako sa trabaho kasi Diyos ko, ang dami lang nasunod. So sabi ko, naku, hindi kakayanin ng beauty ko mag-live na na nasi-stress. Baby Labuching, look, I have ready for you. Asan na yun? Ayan, Baby Labuching. Hi! Ayan si Baby Labuching, ang cute-cute niya. Hello, baby! Wala magawa sa buhay, ano? Off lang po mo. Oh, that's good. Kailan ka na? Kamusta na yung revenue mo? Ako 40, maliit pa lang. Di ba? Ano na ba yung mga pwede nating source of income? Hmm? Ma'am Landerm, ano pong ating pwedeng ano? Natanggap mo na ba yung ano mo, yung PIN mo? Ma'am, magkwento ka lang ha, kahit ano, para lang, parang ano, chika-chika lang tayo. Ayan, Ma'am Jonah, yung machine para sa'yo. Pag-fill mo na. Ma'am Landerm, yung sa next, siguro tomorrow night, how to, pag may friends kayo dyan, nakakilala na gusto magtrabaho sa UK, at gusto siyang, tawag nito, ito po yung topic ko ngayon, how to become a carer in UK po. Sa next series ko po is how to become an efficient nurse, no? Kaya sa hospital, caring industry or wherever. And then next, how to become a deputy manager, mga roles, job description involved. And then how to become a manager po sa care home. Ganun. Tapos, itatag ko po lahat ng mga itatag ko po lahat ng mga agency, care home, hubs, or yung mga care home na malalaki talaga na ano. Kasi talagang very ano yan dito po eh. Number one, isa sa mga malaking group din. Kasi ang lifestyle nila kasi dito din sa UK, mga matatanda, nilalagay talaga nila sa care home. 1 to 10, siguro out of that range, siguro mga 2 o 3 lang na family na talaga nag-look after ng kanilang mga magulang. No? So, iba naman yung setup sa Philippines. Yung nanay mo dyan na sa mga anak. No? We're so lucky. But in other places po, I feel sorry for them. No? Although sa care home naman, they will be well looked after. Pero kung wala kang investment kasi wala kang bahay, wala kang naipong kayamanan na ibabayad mo din sa carers, no? O ibabayad mo sa company, o kaya sa care home. Kasi imagine per week per week, yung babayaran ng um, family, it varies yan from mga nasa 850 per week up to 3,000 per week. Ilan yan sa pesos? Times 64. Ganun. Ganun yan. Pero dito kasi iba naman kasi yung exposure nila. No? Meron na silang bata pa lang yan sila. Ang gobyerno tumutulong na sa kanila. So, pag may trabaho sila, and if they have their own jobs, then they buy a house. Para sa pagtanda, sasaluin niya ng social services or ipapamana sa anak or ibibenta sa tapos kukunin ng gobyerno porsyento. Kasi may share din yung gobyerno sa pagbayad ng care home. Diba? Pag na-meet nila yung level of needs, yung mga ganun. Anong problema ko, ma'am, hindi ko pa matanggap. Malapit na ako matanggap. Oh, nakailang months ka na, ma'am? Ilan lang ba yung ano mo? Ilan lang ba yung, kailan ka ba magla-live? Bigyan kita ng magpakulay ako sa'yo sa katapusan, pwede pa ba? Antayin ko sahod ko, papakulayan kita, sabihin ko kay Teacher SP. Yun na lang support ko sa'yo, ma'am. Kasi sa harang, just tell me in private kung magkano yung pwede nating itadagdag. Hindi mo pa naabot yung $100 mo na credit. Sabihin mo kay Tito SP, tingnan natin kung anong kaya natin kung anong kaya nating maitulong. At malay mo, pag malapit na rin mamonetize si Teacher SP, alam ko tutulong din yan siya sa'yo. Tulong-tulungan tayo. Ayan. Mag-upload ng video daw para tumasanap. At hindi sa LL. At talaga, Ate Jonah, ay, dami ko din namang na-upload na video, Ate Jonah, mga 60 plus yata. Pero 17 naka-private. Talaga, Ate Jonah, it's true video. Ay talaga po? That's good to hear. So, ibig sabihin kahit wala akong LS, upload lang ng upload ng video, Ate Jonah? Aha. Now you've given me a clue. O, 'di ba ang galing? Sige nga, mag-video nga ako ng mag-video. Mag-upload ng video 'no. Halika na, wala sa'kin 'yan. Ayan, malapit pa mag-viral. Ako lang po, ako lang po, saan ba 'yan? Maliit pa mo lang namang viral sa video ko, eh. How about po Ate Landorm kung medyo i i-enhance natin yung content? Ano pa ba puwedeng, saglit, mag-create tayo. Ano ba yung content mo tungkol sa kay God, tungkol sa music, tungkol sa church? Yun ba yung mga content mo lang, palagi? Hindi mo ba puwedeng i-add 'yan ng ano kaya ako nagpalit ng Rodalyn TV para diverse po siya, para variety ang segment ko. Ano po ba yung ganito yung may nagbigay din sa'kin ng tips kasi nanonood ako ng ano, eh, meron akong Pilipina diyan na pinanood na nag-hit, nag-viral talaga siya. Kasi yung ginawa niyang ano, yung nasa ukay-ukay ng mga damit, tapos sinusuot-suot niya, pina-fashion show niya, tapos naglalagay, kinuwento lang niya kung ano-ano lang na ano doon. Eh, alam mo naman tayo mga Pinoy, mahilig din tayo sa mga ganyan, 'di ba? So yun, alam mo nag-viral siya, o 'di ba bongga? Kasimple-simple 'no? Yun ang problema ko hanggang ngayon. Ayan. Darating lang ba yung AdSense pin mo 'pag naka-100, credit ka momento? Hindi mo ba matatanggap yun pagka ano na, or baka darating lang siya na mag-avail para tumasara yung visa? Okay. Pero Ate Jo, may narinig din ako, LS lang sila daw ng LS. Kay Ma'am Mirasol ba yun sa Sweden? Naka 144 LS na siya. Ang dami, siguro mga over 100 people din pumupunta sa kanya sa pangingisda lang. Kasi nakailang oras siya, siguro araw-araw. No? Ganun ba yun? Bakit matanggalan ng harang? Bakit matanggalan ng harang? You're asking ate, ano po, Ma'am Landor? Kasi po siguro dahil matagal na siyang yung credit niya yata, something like that. Ay, di ba? What did you say? Tinapos mo ba mula sa umpisa hanggang dulo? May ads ba ako doon ka? Hala, Butching. Done 4 months na po akong ayan, Ma'am Jo, baka may suggest ka. Tulungan natin si Ma'am Landor. Baka meron ka pong may suggest. Is it, yes, is it because po dahil, may nagpapa-member ba sa'yo, Ma'am Landor? Alam ko member naman kami sa'yo, di ba? Community Teacher SB. Congrats po sa inyong mga monetize. Thank you. Ate Jonah ba yan po ang sinabi ng AdSense sa akin. May notice sila pag di ko daw mag-fill out ang PIN sa AdSense tanggalin. Hanggang ilang months po? Hanggang 6 months po ba yun? Sabagay ako ilang weeks pa lang naman ako, ilang araw pa lang ako na-monetize. So, hindi mo pa rin ba natatanggap yung AdSense mo, Ma'am Landor? Ano sa akin may notice? Sila po, di ko daw mag-fill out. Teka lang po, bakit hindi mo ma-fill out ang PIN sa AdSense dahil hindi mo na-meet yung $100 credit, yun pa ba tama po ba, Ma'am Landor? Paki-reply naman po para malaman natin yung problema at masolusyonan. Paano yun ate, yung iba LS na LS sila? Yan hindi ko pa masyado din masabi, baka kung forever LS na yung content nila, I don't know kung anong feeling dyan ng adverts, no? Ang siguro ang ahabol din ng ads dyan dahil maraming nanonood, maraming nangingisda, may retention of viewers. But I doubt it kung merong magkiklik din doon or magkakagusto sa channel na yun or sa ano. So, I cannot really say for how long they're gonna be staying, no? Kung short-lived yan sila or or longer na ma-sustain nila yun. Kasi kung wala ka namang um, very nice ideas, no? Pero ang tinitingnan din kasi dyan yung ano eh, yung tinatawag nila na CPM. Hindi ko na maalala kung ano ibig sabihin nun. But tingnan mo dun sa may ano, nag-request ka na ba sa PIN mo, Ate Jonah? Ate Jonah, are you referring to ang alam ko tinanong ako mag-request personally tinanong ako mag-request ni Teacher SP. Pero kay Ma'am Rodalyn na case, I don't know po. Baka may nag-request ka na. Ayun naman pala Ma'am Rodalyn, ano daw? Opo, ate 8 minutes, parang mahal na ang machine. Yes, mahal talaga yan. Yung price nun, sa totoo lang, allowed ko ba sabihin, nasa 4,000 euros o times 64, nasa 100 lang. Mahal yung machine. But I paid it for, nag-deposit ako ng 1,500, tapos 6 months ko siyang binayaran ng installment hanggang sa natapos ko. Yan. Yes, so yung sahod ko doon parang ako ng Mercedes na car. Para ko siyang or Rolls Royce ko na car impression. Hindi naman. Mas mahal pa rin yung mga ganun na ano. 2 times na ako nag-request hanggang ngayon wala pa rin ang PIN. May ganun. Pero anong na-notice mo ate? Anong binabawasan yung ano mo? Pero may harang ka pa rin, di ba? PIN na lang. That's alright. So, meron ka na palang 130 na ako sa, that's okay. Oh, you know what? So, hopefully, pagdasal natin, darating na rin yun. Alam mo, may naano ako dun sa, anong pangalan ng babaeng yun? Sa California siya. 9 days after na na-monetize siya, pinadala na siya ni AdSense. Kasi, para lang yan siya dyan sa may, kunwari si AdSense yung company niya ng office niya nasa Manila, no? Para lang naman siya pinadala sa Iloilo lang. So, malapit. Kaya 9 days pa lang daw na pumunta na. Sa atin malayo pa 'di ba sa US yun. So, dahil sa lockdown, dahil sa hindi pa yan nila puwedeng i-email? Sana naman i-email na nila 'no, para mabilis. Puwede i-ano mo kaya, suggest mo kaya sa feedback, sabihin mo na, "Due to lockdown, is there any chance, is there any consideration that AdSense PIN can be emailed?" Or kahit ano nila, ano tawag dun? Parang tinatawag na egress. Alam mo yung encrypted na ikaw lang yung makaka-open. O pwede din naman nilang bigyan ka ng temporary PIN para pagdating ng actual PIN mo, meron ka namang ano, PIN na lang ng okay. Siguro need mo makaabot. 130 na nga daw, 130 na nga daw siya Ate Jonah, dollars. Hindi lang niya nilagay yung currency sign. Ayan, okay. Siguro Ate Jonah, it's because of the lockdown po. Kaya lahat ano. Pero alam ko, isa sa mga Pinay na napanood ko po nung sa California siya. 9 days siya after na naman. Tapos bongga, may pin siya. Di ba nakakaloka? Si Teacher SP nag-aantay din siya kasi pwede qualified na siya. Ako naman, alam ko nag-request din si Teacher SP kahit click mo pala yung help doon sa Google AdSense mo kasi may nakita ko lang. Okay. Picturean ko nga to Ate Jonah. Ano yun Ate Jonah pag nag-request ka ng PIN, pag umabot ka na ba, kailangan ba you have to reach the $100 credit po bago ka mag-click bago ka mag-request ng AdSense o pwedeng kahit hindi mo pa na-reach, mag-request ka na po? And this one, Teacher SP. Sorry, may hiccup na si host. Mas 12 na. 5:30 matutulog na ako ha. Bigyan ko pa kayo ng another 30 minutes. Para makapag So, ano pa yung mga health? Nag-enjoy ka ba na butching sa aking machine? Ayan, Ate Jonah, ano masasabi mo? Panoorin mo yun. Just to give you a clue po. No? Kasi maganda din yung marketing, actually maganda yung marketing plan niya. Medyo hindi lang po talaga ako pinalad sa mga tao pinagdemohan ko. Alam mo yun, maraming may gusto. Pero yung mga taong pinagdemohan ko at nagkakagusto ng machine ko, alam mo yung sait na sait din sila. Wala na silang ibang source. Sana yung source nila ay kung makapag-join. Kaso bago ako mag-join, meron ko dapat na i-deposit man lang. Alam mo yun? Ate Jonah, yun po ginawa ko kahapon pa nang mabasa ko ang warning ni AdSense sa akin. Ate Jonah, wala pang answer sa reklamo ko. Less than 1 month na lang daw. Uy, hala, sana naman po wag. Dapat reach na ang $10 at naka-twice request natin. You can click help. Dapat reach na you mean $100 po or 10? $10 po te, dapat reach na. Ako 14 pa lang po at naka 2 times request natin, we can click help. Ganun ba yun? So, dapat may Ate Roda out muna. Okay, Labuching. Enjoy the meal. Thank you, baby. See you again, ha? See you again tomorrow. Wala nga si si Yam Yam. Wala yung mga classmates niya. Tulog sila kasi two nights akong absent. Akala nila wala na rin si host. Hindi nagka-problema talaga ako sa home. Super stressed talaga ako isang gabi. Alam mo nung nag-stress ako, iniisip ko si dopamine tsaka si serotonin. Sa utak ko, nag-aagaw-agaw. Parang nagbabattle silang dalawa. Sige, dopamine, increase, serotonin. Nanalo si serotonin, na ano ako, na down, na ano talaga ako. Pero di ba, babawiin ko. Lalaman si dopamine. Ipagdasal natin yan, Ate London. Sana naman po, magiging generous naman siya at recover. Ayan. Matutulog na ba tayo? Gawin ko na lang 2 hours, 1:40, ano ba yan? Malapit na. Siguro mga 25 minutes, pwede na. Andiyan pa ba si Angeline? Umalis na yata. Tayo na lang tatlo dito, yun. Ayan. Alam mo minsan nakakaano kasi yung topic ko kasi di ba? Pero nung topic ko ng lapagan, tsaka talaga naman, ang dami pumunta. Talagang siguro next topic ko na lagyan ko din ng lapagan at isdaan. Na Ate Jonah, no? May ganun nila. Kasi mas attracted sila sa WH tsaka sa pangingisda. Ikaw ba, Ate Jonah, lagi ka din nag-ELS? Okay, more of video, din. Ayan, that's fine. Sana darating na rin kay ba Teacher SP? Wala pa siyang update Kayo ba, Ate Jonah, na niyo na, natanggap niyo na yung PIN niyo? Naka-first sahod na po ba kayo? Sabay ganun. Pag ba, Ate Ma'am Landerm, kami check mo nga yung status namin ni Teacher SP dyan. Sa membership mo. Pero sana darating naman na si AdSense. Ayan. O, diba? Ano pa? Share natin. Ano pang advice pwede mong share? Okay. 3 times a week. That's good. Pero kasi ate premium 'di ba, mas malaki yung sa'yo. Totoo ba yung sinabi ni Kuya Aki Pasyondo 'pag nag-premium ka daw? Premium ka pa rin ba ate? Oo nga, eh, ang hirap. Ay, akala ko nga natanggalan naman ako ng aso isang araw kasi yun pala hindi ako clear history. At least ang dami mong maikutan diyan din sa Malaysia 'no? Ang dami mong puwedeng i-contents. Tapusin ko muna yung tapusin ko muna yung sa mga nursing, business side, tapos i-touch ko din yung mga lifestyle, beauty, mga gano'n. Pero sa nursing pa lang kasi ang dami ko ng puwedeng kunang content, you know, sa mga diseases pa lang, signs and symptoms, sa mga medical ano pala, ang dami-dami na, eh, 'no. Actually dito sa care home setting, tsaka mga agency, puwede ko rin yan sila kunan ng, siguro sponsorship na puwede silang mag-advertise sa channel ko. 'Di ba 'te? Kung ano man yung profession niyo 'no, sa church niyo ba 'te 'di ba marami ka namang ano 'di ba, mga group na puwedeng mag-ano sa'yo sa support. Yung proper group mo talaga na palagi mong gano'n retention mo. At tuwing nagla-live ka andiyan sila talaga para sa'yo 'di ba? Tsaka na-notice ko, wala sa padamihan ng audience, it's all about katagalan ng stay sa isang video 'di ba at tama ba Ate Jonah? Na-notice ko kasi sa analytics ko 'no, 'pag although kahit konti lang yung viewers mo pero yung retention time talaga is nandiyan, eh, ano ano, malaking tulong na rin, 'no. So, ang i-target ko na lang ngayon ano ba talaga. Pero kasi sa video, yung mga ads hindi din sila papasok 'pag ano, tsaka at 'pag, hindi relevant sa hashtag mo. Kasi tinitingnan din yung hashtag. Tsaka si algorithm, oo. Ayan Ate Jonah, magre-rest na ako. Tapusin ko na buuin ko na siya ng 2 hours. Sige po, good night. Magre-rest na lang ako maya-maya. Ayan. Ate Landorm, pa-ba-bye na, good night na. Thank you Ate Jonah, thank you for joining. Ayan, wala na rin si Angeline tsaka si ano. Okay, so I hope you learned something about how to apply as a carer in UK. Dahil ako na po ay inaantok. Bukas samahan niyo naman po ako uli at isa na naman pong interesting topic yung inyong mapatutunayan. How to apply as a nurse in the UK and how to enter or join in caring industry po. Okay? So hanggang sa muli, this is Rodalyn TV saying good night, good morning, good afternoon, in anywhere in the world. Bye-bye. Thank you everyone. Thank you Ma'am Jonah and Ma'am Linder. God bless. Good luck sa LS mo Ma'am Jonah. Tulog pa ako siguro noon, but rest assured, no? Magtatamsak ako hanggang tulog. Good night. Flex ko lang po kayo. Ayun.